I'm Val Arnold with Modern Tribe TV, and I have Dwight Patillo and Joe Daughrity, a.k.a. Joe D, from Showtown Pictures. We have hit the box office this weekend, correct?
Yes.
You are playing at the Star Southfield?
Yes, we are AMC Star Southfield.
And your movie is called CORNERSTORE?
CORNERSTORE.
Wonderful. So tell me about the movie, first of all.
Well, CORNERSTORE is about a day in the life of a party store on 6 Mile Road. It's sort of a slice of life. Some people have compared it to Clerks meets Barbershop with a little bit of Friday. And it's a PG-13 rated film about an eventful day at a store on 6 Mile.
So it was a movie about Detroit, made in Detroit then?
By Detroiters.
By Detroiters, all Detroiters? Wonderful.
100%.
Good. So Showtown Pictures, what do you have, what's in the visions? What's going on? What do you have planned for the next project?
Well, Showtown Pictures would like to be an engine to generate opportunity and income for people of Detroit in the metro area.
Despite the incentives?
Yes, with or without incentives, we're going to do what we want to do, which is make film in Detroit.
So you had some pretty high-named people in CORNERSTORE, correct?
Yes, Roger Jennifer Smith is the star of our film. People may know him from American Gangster, Deep Cover, All About the Benjamins, and of course, Do the Right Thing. And along with Roger, we have Judge Mathis, Trick, Dwell A, Thomas Hearns makes an appearance. He's sort of our Nick Fury at the end of the film. And our goal, Dwight and I met in Los Angeles, our goal has always been to make films about Detroit in Detroit.
Oh, that's great. So how did you meet? What was the story behind that?
Well, we were on a set of Poetic Justice. I was doing the craft service thing back then. It was an extremely rough day. I took an awful lot of abuse on that set, actually. And we were out in Simi Valley shooting drive-in scene for the film. And
Tupac,
Janet Jackson,
Wow.
Q-Tip. Actually, we were killing Q-Tip that night.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing.
The death of Q-Tip.
Yeah, and he walked over to the table. I was wearing a Detroit Tigers hat, of course, and he was like, "So, what do you know about the team?"
Well, you know, that was sort of a fashion statement to wear your Tigers hat, so I just assumed he was another fraudulent Detroiter.
Everybody wants to come from Detroit.
Yeah, for some reason.
So what is your background then, Dwight? What did you do on Poetic Justice?
On Poetic Justice, I was just
Craft services?
at that point, but yeah, that was really early in the game. I went on later to write music video concepts and ended up working with Dr. Dre.
Oh, wow.
And the company that we founded back then was called Movie Films. And we ended up producing every video off of the front. That Better See Thing, That's What Dre Day, what was the other? Little Ghetto Boy, which I directed. And Let Me Ride.
Snoop Dogg's second video.
Wow. That's some impressive titles you have going on there.
He also directed Nate Dogg's first video. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
Wow.
A lot of Bushwick Bill cuts. Worked with FM Rocks as well. That was the second largest music video company in LA at the time. But eventually went into screenplay writing. Had a screenplay option by Orion Pictures and Motion Picture Corporation of America. That was entitled One Time. The actual film never got done. It was supposed to star LL Cool J and Dr. Dre. But after the death of Biggie Smalls, the climate in Hollywood towards hip-hop films kind of went in a different direction. The film never got made. So I decided to come back to Detroit and do something independent.
And this is, so you were both out there?
Yeah.
Okay. And what brought you back here? What was your background?
Well, I left, after high school. I went to Cass Tech, and I always had a desire to be in the movie business. So everyone pretty much dissuaded me from, following in on that dream. And I decided that I was going to go out there and try it for a year. And if things didn't work out, I could always go to school for aerospace engineering, which was my emphasis at the time. And that 1 year has turned into about 22 years. And, working with John Singleton on his first 3 films. And then I sold a script, and I got signed by a creative artist agency and became a Writers Guild member. And wrote a lot of scripts that, I got paid to write, but didn't necessarily get the green light and go into production. So several years ago, I just decided I was going to start making my own films. And the first film that I made was a documentary called 7 Days in Japan. I followed that up with, I went back to film school and decided to complete my education. I've been going off and on for, over 10 years. But I said, I'm going to go back to school and get that degree in cinema studies. And I did that, and my thesis film was called A Curious Hip Hop Shop. And that starred James Kyson Lee, who was on NBC's Heroes, and a young lady named Emiyatsu Kurinyali. And I won the Directors Guild of America award for that. I was only the second person in the history of my school to win that award. And after that, the opportunity came to make a feature film in Detroit, which is what I've always wanted to do.
That is so awesome, you guys, seriously, because being an actor myself, we are so thankful that people are trying to still keep it here despite of the incentives. It's a hard road, but you give us so much light. I mean, seriously, you guys beat the Rise of the Planet of the Apes this weekend in the box office?
Yes, we sure did.
Wow.
Smurfs, too.
Oh, yeah. You're gold.
And the help, produced by a guy you may have heard of, some guy named Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
so,
my gosh.
Yeah, it was really exciting, and we hope that Detroit and Metro Detroit continues to come out and see the film and, keep us going strong.
Oh, I think they absolutely will. I can't even believe I'm so taken back right now. How long? So you were telling me before that Star Theater, they didn't kind of want to have you in there or something. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, we applied to AMC's Star Theater's independent filmmaker program, and they liked the movie, they enjoyed the movie, but at the end of the day, they thought some of it was a little too quirky, maybe for mainstream audiences. But our belief has always been that if you can win Detroit, if you can own your backyard, I took a page out of the rap community. Too Short with Oakland, the Ghetto Boys in Houston, the guys in New Orleans, baby. I said, if I can get to Detroit, we can win Detroit, we can win the world. And we're well on our way to working. So, yeah, I think the film will travel. People ask me, well, who's the audience for this film? And I say, anywhere they say pop, not soda. So that includes St. Louis, Gary, Indiana, Chicago, plenty of other markets.
What's weird about this film is 70-year-old people like it and 15-year-old people.
That is such an array of an audience.
Yeah, it's really bizarre because, most films like that are animated.
Right.
But this one is,
Was that your intention?
Well, we weren't sure, we weren't really sure who would like it.
Yeah, I thought, I wanted to make a film that was an homage to the theaters that I grew up here, the Norwest Theater, the Mercury, the Fox. A film like Let's Do It Again or Cooley High, these films that had something. Yeah, so I wanted to make something that would cross demographics and that everyone could enjoy. And this film was meant to be enjoyed on the big screen. So all you bootleggers out there, we're tricks gunning for you.
Trick said no bootlegging.
Yeah, so we want people to come and get out of the summer heat and experience this film, on the big screen because it was made for them. And by us. We are them.
We're basically not saying, don't come out and see our film. We want you to come out and see your film.
Aww.
It was made for you. It's made for, Detroit. And, come out.
And we have everybody in this film, Chaldean Americans, Asians, white people. We want to have an inclusive vision of a 21st century Detroit.
So was this considered when you made it a low budget film or?
Micro. I would
micro, ultra low budget.
Labor of love.
Definitely a long labor of love. We were riding on this film for 19 months.
Yeah, we tapped out every relationship we had. I mean, for instance, I used to work at a company called Ico Effects that did most of the effects for the Harry Potter movie and Speed Racer and things like this. And when it came time to do this film, after production, there were some things that needed to be done, and they did 40 shots of visual effects for us. And I remember some of it was as simple as keying monitors and things with security cameras, but I remember asking my old boss, Jeff Kelmus, one day, what would you charge if I was just a company here? And he said, $1,100 per shot. And I remember going, wow, it's a good thing we're friends. So it took a lot of sacrifice. And, we had the help of Michigan-based companies such as Better Made Potato Chips, Little Caesars, Olympia Entertainment, Granddad's Iced Tea, Centron, Energy Drinks.
Oh, well, you guys point at me when you say energy.
We cut you.
That's all right. That's okay. You can say that. That's fine. Everybody knows. It's no secret. So you guys are on Facebook then, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not me, not yet.
I'm reluctantly pulling him into the 21st century.
Definitely have legitimate reasons to now, but it's still a little reluctant.
So was this a SAG film by chance, or?
It's non-union for the most part.
But yes,
we did have SAG vouchers for actors like, Roger and Judge Mathis.
Yeah, Toby Murray, Mike Ilitch's grandson, is in the film, and he's SAG. So there were maybe 4 or 5 SAG actors. And, any filmmakers out there who are scared of working with SAG, please don't be. Just go to sagindy.org. It's a very painless process. And you want to make sure you get some talent in the film that's going to have a poster that means something. Because unfortunately, once you finish your film, it comes down to
who's in it.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been down this road once before with a film that we're really proud of, but it had no names.
Oh.
So this time we just wanted to, make sure that we could compete with films like The Help and whatnot. Speaking of which, those 2 films, our film and The Help has one very significant common denominator, which is a gentleman by the name of Scott Jennings, who mixed both films.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's been telling everyone in Los Angeles, he had 2 great films open last week, The Help and Cornerstore. Of course, The Help was on about 3,000 more screens than us, but, he's equally proud of it. We're equally proud. Scott mixed my student film, Akira Cop Shop, and he's mixed films. He's Mel Gibson's personal mixer, so he's done, everything from Apocalypto to Passion of the Christ, and, really blessed to, you have to assemble a team. I've been working with the same people for about 8 to 10 years, from editors to production people. And that's what we'd like to do with Showtime Pictures here, is we want to build a team. And that gets me to our crew. Our crew was this great combination of out-of-work auto workers mixed with recent graduates from the Jimmy Lifton Institute, Specs Howard, MPI, and we all came together on there on the streets of 6 Mile. And three long months, about 20 days of production. And
Really?
This film would not be done without that crew. It was one of the best crews I've ever worked with.
Yeah, everybody who comes out of the schools around here is they're hardworking. I mean, I'm automotive, I'm everything. Everyone appreciates the talent and every opportunity we have around here per film.
We had a couple guys come up from Florida that they're Michiganders, but they went to school in Florida at Fullsail, which is supposed to be a really good school. And these guys from Specs Howard hung right with them, so we're doing it here. We still make things in Michigan. We still make things in Detroit.
That's where I started. I had to do that. That's the whole entire motto of the school. Sorry. So you guys pretty much swooped the DWIF, correct?
Well, we were lucky enough to win the best Detroit-made comedy in the DWIF, and I would assume it was maybe the first sellout in the history of the DWIF.
Right, yeah.
We had people in the balcony, and it was really exciting. I had a film, the first DWIF, years ago, a documentary about these African-American kids who play hockey. And to return to the DWIF, several years later with my debut feature was exciting. And we're really thankful for that award.
Very rewarding.
And Susan.
Yep.
So, Showtown Pictures, what is next? What do you have planned?
Well, we have a slate of films, in development. We've been sort of stockpiling scripts over the years. So we're not exactly sure which of those we're going to do, but we can tell you it's going to be a Detroit-themed movie. We're going to use as much Michigan talent in front and behind the camera as possible. So we're excited about that, and we hope to announce it relatively soon.
Right. It depends basically on what happens with this film. Once we find out exactly where we'll end up living, then we'll go from there as far as what's.
But your plans are to stay here, correct?
Oh, yes.
Good. So where can people buy the DVD right now?
No, we aren't selling the DVD yet. Eventually, we will be putting it out on DVD. But check out www.showtimepictures.com or www.facebook.com/ShowtimePictures to keep up on what's going on with us.
So for CORNERSTORE, where can people look to see that right now?
They can join our Facebook page or like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CornerStoreMovie. And you'll get exclusive videos, updates, and be able to interact with much of the cast there as well.
And it is playing at the Star Southfield for another 2 weeks, correct?
Yes, we actually are indefinite at the Star Southfield and also the AMC Star John R. on 14 and John R. So be sure you guys call and get the showtime to see.
Well, I'm excited to have met 2 future millionaires. Thank you so much for joining us today, you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm Val Arnold with Modern Tribe TV.